The roar that changed cinema. Forever, when Jurassic Park roared into theaters in 1993, audiences weren't just watching dinosaurs, they were believing them. Steven Spielberg's epic didn't just redefine the science fiction genre, it re-engineered the way movies were made. From pioneering CGI to real robotic dinosaurs that terrified even their creators, Jurassic Park became a revolution wrapped in a thriller. But beneath all the groundbreaking visuals and iconic roars lies a jungle full of bizarre stories, behind the scenes, mishaps and weird coincidences that shaped this cinematic giant. So, let's travel back to Isla Nublar and dig up 15 of the strangest and most fascinating facts about Jurassic Park. The T-Rex animatronic was so real. It terrified the crew. The legendary T-Rex wasn't just a CGI creation, it was a 12,000-pound animatronic built by Stan Winston's team. During filming, it would randomly turn on due to rain interfering with its sensors. Crew members said it would start moving and roaring unexpectedly, scaring everyone on set. Spielberg even admitted he jumped more than once. One technician said, "We'd be eating lunch and suddenly the T-Rex would come alive. It was so lifelike that even professional actors forgot it wasn't real for a few moments." The iconic T-Rex roar was a mix of wild animal sounds. The sound designers couldn't record a real dinosaur, of course, so they combined sounds from animals like elephants, lions, alligators, and even penguins to create the T-Rex's roar. The deep growl you hear when it attacks was partly from a baby elephant slowed down, while the high-pitched screeches came from dolphins. The sound team spent months experimenting until they found the perfect, terrifying blend. Spielberg loved it so much that he demanded the final roar be played louder than any other sound in the mix. 3. The raptors' sounds came from turtles. Mating one of the weirdest discoveries in sound design history, those intense raptor screeches during the kitchen scene, they came from recordings of turtles mating. The sound designer, Gary Rydstrom, later confessed that the breathy, high-pitched growls were recorded at a zoo. He said, "When people ask, I tell them the truth, and they always look at me funny." It's bizarre but true. That unforgettable raptor sound is basically reptilian romance turned into terror. The real fossil market inspired the movie's Greed. Theme Michael Crichton, who wrote the novel, was inspired after hearing about scientists cloning frogs. He noticed how money drove scientific discovery, and added the idea of corporate greed into the story. Spielberg loved that the movie wasn't just about dinosaurs, but also about humans exploiting nature for profit. Ironically, after the movie came out, fossil prices skyrocketed, proving Crichton's point in real life. The famous water ripple scene. Took days to perfect. That shot of the water vibrating in the cup when the T-Rex approaches is iconic, but getting it right was a nightmare. Spielberg wanted a perfect circular ripple. Special effects artist. Michael Lantieri experimented for days before he discovered the secret, a guitar string. He attached it to the underside of the car's dashboard, plucked it, and created the now famous water effect that became one of the most suspenseful moments in movie history. The original ending didn't include the T-Rex rescue in the first version of the script. The raptors were supposed to be crushed by falling bones, and the T-Rex didn't appear. But Spielberg felt it was wrong to leave out the film's biggest star. So he changed the ending at the last minute. The T-Rex bursting in to save the humans became one of the most memorable moments in movie history. Even the crew cheered when they saw the final version, calling it the perfect Spielberg ending. 7. The crew used shaving cream as a prop for the famous canister that Barbasol can used by the greedy programmer Dennis Nedry to smuggle dinosaur embryos became a pop culture symbol. The prop department filled it with real shaving cream for close-up shots. But during long takes, the foam kept spilling, causing multiple retakes. The prop was later sold at auction for over $20,000, proving that even a can of shaving cream can become legendary when dinosaurs are involved. Samuel L. Jackson never made it to the island finale. Jackson was supposed to have a big death scene on Isla Nublar, but a hurricane destroyed the set before filming could happen. That's why you only see his severed arm when Ellie finds it. Jackson later joked, "They never found my body. Maybe I survived." Spielberg kept the mystery to enhance the horror vibe, showing that sometimes nature, or bad weather, writes better scenes than humans. 9. Spielberg shot the movie. During Schindler's List production, right after finishing Jurassic Park, Spielberg immediately began working on Schindler's List. Both films were released in 1993, showing two completely different sides of his talent: blockbuster thrill and historical tragedy. Spielberg said he edited Jurassic Park at night while shooting Schindler's List during the day. The emotional toll was immense. He even said dinosaurs helped him emotionally recover from the Holocaust story he was filming. The raptors were almost much bigger. Until science changed it originally, the raptors were planned to be over 10 feet tall. Then, during production, real paleontologists discovered Utahraptor, a new species that was exactly that size. Spielberg's team didn't need to redesign anything. Their fictional raptor had suddenly become scientifically accurate. Talk about life imitating art. 11. The sound crew hid dinosaurs in the surround. Mix-in theaters equipped with surround sound, the audio engineers hid subtle dinosaur growls and screeches behind viewers. Spielberg wanted the audience to feel surrounded by unseen creatures. People sitting in the back of theaters often looked around thinking the sound was real. This trick made Jurassic Park one of the first movies to truly use 3D audio for immersion. Laura Dern thought the sick Triceratops was real. The Triceratops. Animatronic looked so real that Laura Dern burst into tears when she first saw it. The creature blinked, breathed, and even had a heartbeat effect. Stan Winston's team designed it so carefully that many crew members forgot it was fake. Dern said, "It felt like I was comforting a living animal." This attention to detail became one of the reasons the movie's practical effects still hold up decades later. 13. Jeff Goldblum's chaos theory speech was improvised. Jeff Goldblum, known for his eccentric delivery, added several unscripted lines to his chaos theory scene. Spielberg encouraged him to make Dr. Ian Malcolm sound like a real mathematician with quirks and curiosity. Goldblum's spontaneous hand gestures and dramatic pauses became iconic. His improvised performance turned a technical speech into one of the most quoted moments in the film. The film's CGI only lasts 14 minutes, despite being remembered. For groundbreaking digital effects, Jurassic Park actually used CGI for only about 14 minutes of its 2-hour runtime. The rest were practical models and animatronics. This perfect mix of real and digital effects is why the dinosaurs look more believable than in many modern movies that rely entirely on CGI. Spielberg said, "You believe them because part of your brain sees something real." 15. The T-Rex's breakdowns made Spielberg rewrite scenes. The massive T-Rex animatronic often malfunctioned due to rain soaking its foam skin. During one scene, it started shaking uncontrollably and even tore itself apart. Instead of delaying production, Spielberg adjusted the script, adding more darkness and quick cuts. These limitations made the creature scarier. What you don't see became more terrifying than what you do. The science, the spectacle, and the strange legacy Jurassic Park wasn't just a movie. It was an experiment in imagination and innovation. It turned fear into fascination and made audiences believe that dinosaurs could walk the earth again. From malfunctioning robots to turtle mating calls, the weird and wonderful production details remind us that even movie magic is messy, unpredictable, and often hilarious. Over 30 years later, Jurassic Park remains the ultimate blend of science, storytelling, and strange behind-the-scenes miracles. A cinematic fossil that will never go extinct.